Okay, here's a video showing just sewer folks, inspectors, some changes that I've made. We talked about this last week, and I'm trying to simplify how we are doing our sewer surveys. One of the things that came up is there seems to be inconsistency on how the reports are written. And sort of mainly the modifiers and sort of how they're received by the client. So what I've tried to do here is simplify this so that a couple of things, both the modifier remains consistent on all of the comments that are in a sewer survey chapter or a sewer survey report, and I have boiled the comments down to just one comment, so there's like a gunny sack basically, and you'll see. So let's go in, we'll pop this open. What you're going to do, and this should be familiar, we're going to use the Dunsing. I've renamed this from Dunsing 2024 to Dunsing 2025. This will be your sewer survey. You'll see there is no other template in here called sewer survey. So you're going to go to Dunsing 2025, and the most important thing before you publish this is you do have to go through in the let me think about this, the electric, the heating, the plumbing, the interior, and then the additional information sections. You have to go through and take out comments, and I'll show you why. You've got these comments that always get inserted into every report, and if you're just doing a sewer survey, you've got to go through and pull these out. So it's just simply taking these out and deleting them manually. Pretty simple process in there, but we're trying to shorten these reports up. Now, the other thing you'll see in here is, let's go to the sewer survey. You can see that we've got the same photos of locations of cleanouts, etc. You've got all effectively the same commentary in here about whether it's municipal or not. Type of material, age, length of the sewer that you surveyed. This is the big change here. You can see this has really been shortened up. So what's going on here is you're still going to go through and talk about the condition of the sewer. Functional to me would mean it is literally there are no problems. If there's a little bit of root intrusion or an offset or something like that, I want you to use this comment, water is running but problems were noted, and you can see, well, it doesn't really add a comment in there, it just is the heading for the people. In fact, I'll click on all three of these right now so you can kind of see what it would look like. When I go to preview this, you'll see here, if I go to the sewer survey portion, it'll talk about water is running, what problems were noted, it's functional, it's non-functional. So if you only picked one of those, it would be pretty obvious what you're talking about in there. So let's go back to this. So let's just say in this case it is water is running but problems were noted. Now, at Brett's suggestion, I added some gunny sacks. This is basically minor, medium, and major, and the modifier on these is due diligence, further investigation required for the minor one. The medium one is basically there are items that are not working and that are going to need to be repaired, and then of course the major is going to be major problems in here. So with these, I don't want a situation where we're clicking on gunny sack minor and gunny sack medium. It's going to get confusing. We're going to be right back in the same boat that we were in, where people are getting confused about what we mean. So I really want you to concentrate on keeping things consistent in these. Let's just go through gunny sack minor. You would click on this. There would be basically just a few items to choose from. There's toilet paper and waste. You'll notice on these that I've given these bold headings. Here, let's just click on all of them and you'll kind of see what they actually say. Toilet paper and waste, we performed our sewer and discovered this minor root intrusion. While not unusual, it can get worse, eventually cause blockage. Check with the owner. It's really just a maintenance requirement. Minor rust, this would be just, minor rust in the sewer line. I'm not terribly worried about it. And then any past repairs. I can add to these if you want, but I thought those were pretty much the basic comments that we would use, where it's just, keep in mind there's a few minor things. Medium, this is a little more. There are a few more comments in here. These are bigger issues. Offsets, there are some offsets in the sewer. The cast iron has rust and scaling and needs cleaning. There are problems at the city tap. If you click on this, you're going to need to add a photo. So let me just go in here and I'll add a here, I'll just add some, well, I don't have any media to add. Let's just say this and this are photos of some problems at the city tap. You do need to then go in and put a caption that says, maybe loose bricks at city tap, and the next one might say something like, I don't know, caving in or water intrusion. Maybe this is a loose connection between the house's sewer and the city tap at city tap. So that would be that. But it's important that you put captions on these. You can't just leave these sitting alone. Let's go back into this and see the other comments that are there. Problems with the sewer cleanout, same thing. You would have to have a photo of the cleanout and then a caption of the photo of what you're talking about, and then there's a flood control system installed. It basically limits our inspection. Again, you can see that these have some bold italics, and that's to be able to bring your eye to it so you know what the comment says quickly. If these don't apply, you do need to make changes to these to make them apply, or write an entire new comment. So let's just put in here, I'm going to click here and say there's another comment here, and let's just put something in that says, bear with me for a second. Let's just put another comment here that says repair. In addition, there is, I don't know, a broken, here is a tampon stuck in the sewer, stuck in the clean out. So something like that. That would be something else you could do. So you can make these changes, but this is where you can add comments. You could actually go here and do, you can't, for some reason it won't let me do that. You would have to go in here and put another bullet comment in there. Yeah, it's making me go back to that each time. So the only other thing I can think that you could do here would be let me do a quick stop here. Okay, continuing on here, what you could do if you wanted to add another comment like right after this is you could come in, set your cursor here and put a bullet in here. So I'm gonna, if you're familiar with this, you can do a bullet right here, and I'm gonna put broken, type it correct, hang on, broken sewer cap, if that's going to be your thing. And then I can take this whole thing, highlight it, right click, cut. I can then throw this in here, and then when I set my cursor back in front of it, it'll move it down there. And here I can take the bullet out. So just clean these up so they look nice for people so that they understand what's going on. So that's another way around this. Now, the last portion in here, let's get rid of this gunny sack, is going to be the major. And this is going to be where you're really, and I've got this bigger on here, this is where you really have a big list of different things. So you're going to have to very carefully read these and become familiar with what these are. But these are what I would consider to be anything that is shy of just basically maintenance. I'm very concerned about if we call something maintenance, a sewer contractor could come in and really try to make our client and our lives difficult. So these have longer explanations about what the problems are, and you can see I've given them different headings here. So it'll give you the ability, heavy root intrusion, damage to the waistline, and clean out problems, whatever the case may be. So those go in there, and then again you're going to put your photos in, of course. So that's that portion. The last portion in here, I left cleanouts alone, and cleanouts, these are just more informational for people that cleanout wasn't found. Obviously, we need to do it. You need to have the people provide clean out, but this is going to be stuff that is going to be related to basically not being able to get into the sewer because we couldn't see the clean out. So that would be your options on those. So hopefully this simplifies. Looking for input if anybody has more, but carry on, and let's hopefully make this a very simple report for people so that we don't have a lot of comments all over the report. Photos and captions in the photos are going to be really important on these.